Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Dan, the co-founder of Chekkit. Hello.
Hey Christian, thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining. Please tell us what your company does.
Yeah, so kind of to share what Chekkit does, give you a bit of a background. We're an all-in-one customer interaction platform. So we help local businesses, local brands go digitally, essentially. And what that means is a couple different things we do is, and when we started out the company, we help you guys get found, help local businesses get found online through the power of reviews. So review management, generation. The second portion to what we do and our solution is helping to make the experience convenient for local businesses and their customers. So they get found online, and then they can go over to their website. So making the interaction through text, through Google Messages, Facebook, Instagram, all those different channels, make it super convenient for that local business to do, essentially to do business with that prospect or potential customer.
Okay, and how does the process look? How does it work?
In terms of just the software
From
itself?
day one. Yeah, from day one when they start
from
using
day
it.
one. Yeah, so from day one, we started out on the review management side. So we one of the big things is to give you some background. We started with local restaurants, the hospitality, so those chains. We're doing some general marketing. We started with a mass promotion and texting software and solution. So essentially, the customer would go into that restaurant. They would collect a piece of contact information when they signed on to Wi-Fi. Then the business can send them different text messages for promotions, events, discounts, coupons, that sort of thing. So we started with that product essentially, and that solving that problem, that solution. But then we really got into the review management side of things. So just helping those local businesses get reviews on places like TripAdvisor, Google, Facebook, any niche review platform. That product really took off, and that's kind of where we started, I would say, the business. So we really kind of got into the review management side of things. And then from there, we looked at just every other way we could help that local business make a very convenient process, essentially, and just conversation for them and those customers.
And what did you say is the biggest problem that you're solving for these companies?
The biggest, well, I would say, going back to kind of the two problems we solved, the biggest, getting reviews online, getting found, having that social proof. I know that testimonials and reviews are a big portion, or just really help out every business, right? When customers or people are searching online, that's huge. So that's number one. And then number two is helping them make that experience as convenient as possible.
What are our top three features?
Top three features? I would say top three features would be for sure the review management piece. So proactively getting your customers to leave you that review. I know it's if you do it the kind of the old school way, it can be really tough. And so get reviews is the review management portion. Web chat's been a really big hit. So if you go on those, if the customer goes on that business's website, whether it's a jewelry store or dealership or dental clinic, they can have that text communication. So they can text back and forth, which is very convenient because you don't have to call in. You can book an appointment right there. You can pay an invoice right there. So you can do things just very conveniently from your phone. So web chat and just the texting portion of what we do has been a big hit. And then our payment solution. So I think those are kind of like three big ones. So being able to send out an invoice with a text message is pretty cool, and the customer can pay via Google Pay, Apple Pay, any major credit card. So those are three probably our big ones.
Okay, that's awesome. And how do you actually help businesses generate reviews?
It's honestly pretty simple. So we take out a couple steps in the review process, but essentially, there's a couple different ways that we do it, really. When we started out, it was more of a manual process. The business would have to input the phone number or email or contact piece and then send out a review invitation. So the customer would just click on the link. It would be kind of a branded, fancy review invite. They could click on the link, choose where they leave that review. But now we have different integrations with different CRMs. So they can send it out automatically if they want, or you could do it more of a bulk level every week or month with campaigns and whatnot. So
Yeah, it makes sense. And what is the pricing?
pricing is, we have two different pricing. We have a standard and we have a premium. So standard is the $99. And then we have the premium, gets you payments. And there's a few other, like you can schedule messages. There's a few other products built in there, and that's $199 a month.
And I saw you have a lot of integrations, so maybe tell us the best.
The best integrations?
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, the top integrations.
Some of them.
So we have quite a bit, but having the connector when we started out with Zapier was huge, because that just helped us with a lot of just some of the basic integrations. But we have AIM, so AIM's for music shops, so that's a big integration. Shopify's been pretty big, so people have asked for that. Trying to think of some other ones those are the two that come to my head anyways, that's been pretty big. And then we've come out with a few others like Fair Harbor. So there's been a few other big ones, but I think those are the couple of the top ones.
And what businesses use your product?
We work with a lot of different verticals. So we work with a ton of jewelry stores, ton of dealerships, auto collision, dental clinics. So there's a lot in the medical, like physio, chiropractors. But I would say probably the top right now is jewelry shops or stores, and probably dealerships, auto. So jewelry, auto is probably our top verticals.
Can you share with us some? Yeah.
But really any local business. So there's just a ton of different verticals we work in. Most brick and mortar and local brands and businesses could utilize our stuff. So
yeah, that's why I imagined. And can you share with us some examples of happy customers?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm just gonna pull up just the logos on our sites, just because I can't.
Sure.
I don't know the names off the top of my head, but
no, I was curious to know more about the story, not necessarily the names of how they're exactly helped, and yeah.
Yeah, so some of the names that we worked with, when we started out, we work with really, again, to kind of give you a spectrum, we work with right down to the mom and pop shops all the way up to some more enterprise like Terminus Canada, Dental Corp of Canada. And so we work with, storefronts that have just one location, and it's a very, very local, again, mom and pop shop, smaller operation, right up to businesses that have, a couple hundred locations. So our solution, we have really two different solutions. One is more of a corporate solution, so they can analyze all the different locations in one dashboard, which is a nice view. And then on the other side, we have the single dashboard where they can do all the cool, the fun things like send out reviews and get reviews, hop on video calls, collect payments, text back and forth with their customers, and kind of like a mini CRM. So we work with a broad range, I would say.
That's awesome. And what is digital management? I saw that on your website. Is it are your services that you offer to companies directly, or?
Yeah, so we rolled out with a new service. So we've always been a pure software play. And just meaning it's a software subscription. There's a flat fee. There's no hidden costs. And then we started getting a lot of questions about, because our software kind of integrates and works so closely with those local brands' websites and their local SEO. There's obviously a lot more built into local SEO and helping them get found on Google with organic search. And, obviously website design, hosting, all that stuff, social media management. So we basically came out with this full service offering. And so if any of those local businesses want to utilize us for their local SEO and just getting found online, in terms of organic reach, they can do that. If they want us to manage their social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of that, obviously posting and responding, that's a full-time job. So our business can take that on for them. kind of like a fractional, basically CMO, essentially, Chief Marketing Officer. And if any designs they want, so if they want upgrades on their website, they can do that. If they want a full new website, we can also offer that, as well as website hosting. Really, the thought behind it was if someone wants to, because a lot of the time, local businesses will go and, they'll have one company for their SEO, one company that does their website design and hosting, one company, they have maybe an in-house person that does their social media management, and then they're utilizing us for the software. There's a lot of different pieces to that. So we just said, hey, if you want to come to one spot, one-stop shop, we can help you with all that.
It makes sense, but I guess you're at limited capacity, or you can take a limited number of clients on that side.
On that side, it's pretty scalable. So I wouldn't say we're limited in any sort of sense. Of course, the more customers we take on, the more people we're going to have to hire to take on some of that work. But yeah, for sure. I mean, software is obviously and always will be more scalable than the service side of things. So.
But it's a great strategy. I'm looking forward to how it will work out.
Yeah,
it seems really interesting. Yeah. And how competitive is this market that you're operating in, the review management part?
Yeah, the review management, I would say we're in a couple different spaces or markets, but our space is pretty competitive. There's a lot of, larger companies, larger competitors. Of course, there's a lot of smaller ones too. I don't know how to quantify how competitive. I think it's fairly competitive. Any software, anytime what you're working in tech, it's pretty competitive. So we just try to operate as efficient as possible, and that's one of the reasons why we're bootstrapped and try to keep our prices as low as we possibly can to keep that competitive edge.
Fantastic. And how do you differentiate from the rest?
Yeah, so how are we different from the rest? We offer a lot of again, when you're in a market and competing directly with any business, a lot of products, especially on the software side, can look similar and have similar features and functionality. I get that. Look, if we use Panadoc, there's obviously DocuSign, there's a million others, right? So they all have similar features and stuff like that. For us, we find that, again, keeping our prices low, keeping them affordable, that's always been our message to local businesses, is having our prices as affordable as possible. And some of the other ways too is just customer support. I know, sometimes you're calling a business, and especially if they're a bigger operation, you might have to wait 45 minutes or an hour. If you go to we have our support chat bubble on our site and in our software, our times are down to a minute, right? So if you have a customer support question or concern or whatever, you're getting an answer immediately. So I think our customer support team's been phenomenal. So I think that's an underlooked competitive edge that we've definitely kind of mastered.
I really like your vision, and also the digital management. I think it's a unique thing, right?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think on both sides. Honestly, I haven't seen it a whole lot. I know a lot of companies go from the service side of things, and they typically have an agency, and then they transition. We've kind of done the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
And not that we're transitioning, but at all. But we have the software side, and then we kind of are now let's look at some of the service side of things. So, yeah, thank you.
When did you start the company?
We started in 2017 officially.
And you already said you're bootstrapped, right?
We are bootstrapped, yeah.
How big is your team right now?
Team of 20, just under 20.
And are you planning to raise any funds in the future?
As of right now, I don't think so. We're pretty efficient. We've kind of mastered the sales model, and again, just on the customer support side, building new features. We've been profitable really from day one. So I don't think we don't plan on it anyways, but things could change in the future. You never know, a couple of years down the road what happens, but for right now, bootstrapped is a phenomenal way to go for us.
And do you think you found the product market fit?
Oh, absolutely. I think after a couple of thousand customers, yeah. So
Happy for you. Happy for you. What has been your best growth tactic for getting new people to the platform?
best growth tactic. So we started out with kind of like very unconventional, like old school ways. We did a lot of door-to-door sales, was not scalable at all, but it helped us. We did the things that really didn't scale, and we tried to get, we got a lot of traction there. So that's kind of we found it to be successful. But I think the top growth strategies really have been, one, acquisition channel has been cold email, has been really good for us. Referrals, building out kind of a community. So we have an affiliate marketing channel that we use so people can refer us. They can get paid reoccurring fees. We offer 25 to 30%. So again, it's a decent chunk of money, and you get that every single month. So people are motivated to give us those referrals. Yeah, so I think those are kind of the top.
Thank you for sharing. And what has been your biggest challenge since starting the company?
Biggest challenge? Yeah, I mean, there's been obviously a ton of challenge, but I think the biggest one is, it sounds so silly, or maybe simple, but just basically starting the company, trying to get it off the ground. Like when you start out and you have even if you have an amazing product and you're going to sell it, people will always ask, well, who else is using your product? It's a hard question to answer when nobody is using it. So I think just getting the initial traction and kind of getting off the ground, and then I think that's probably definitely one of the standout, kind of the bigger challenges that we've had. But there's been a lot of smaller challenges for sure that have come our way.
And what did you do before Chekkit?
I was a commercial banker, so I worked on commercial banking for Scotiabank. So my background's in really just banking, finance.
Was this your first startup?
Yeah, it was. First startup.
And what's your best piece of advice for a first time startup founder?
Best piece of advice? I think one of the things that helped me, that again I don't hear that often, but I just went all in. I find it when you're doing anything, like, and I get financially, there's a lot of people that just aren't in that position or don't have the money saved to kind of have a burn rate if they need a year to get the company off the ground or whatnot. But if you can do it, do it, because it's hard to work a 9 to 5, or you're working 7 to 5 sometimes, and then coming home and trying to build something, you're just exhausted. It's just very, very tough. So I would say if you can go all in, go all in.
Yeah, so focus just on the startup and focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite software apart from Chekkit?
Favorite software? That's a tough one.
Or top 3 if it's.
I like, I like Notion. Notion keeps me organized. So I use it kind of as a mini CRM. There's to-do list. There's a bunch of things in Notion that I like. Basecamp's been great for just having our files and some of all our information for the company in Basecamp. So that's been really convenient. It just makes everything organized. Those are probably the top 2 that I utilize all the time.
It's perfect.
I mean, I don't mind Slack, but the notifications every 10 seconds is like overrated.
I understand. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to tell us today on the podcast?
No, I don't have any questions off the top of my head. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much for joining. I'm really grateful.
Thanks so much.